read
like,
Fargo.
This is an American masterpiece.
Yes,
Yeah.
I was doing backflip. No, I was terrified that I wouldn't get it. I was up all night. Everybody I knew in LA was there. I probably memorized my entire part
The
the
whole
full
movie?
morning. Yeah.
Damn.
I found out they were auditioning in New York. I got my Lutheran ass on an airplane and I crashed that audition and I said, I really want this part. I'm scared you're gonna screw up your movie by not casting me. That was not a good idea what I did. It worked. I don't recommend it.
What'd you say?
I said, you're gonna fuck up your movie if you don't cast me. I think I went farther and told Ethan, who had a new puppy, that I would kill the dog if he didn't cast me. Thank God he laughed.
Hello and welcome back to the Adam Friedland Show. It's Adam Friedland. Off top, I just have to say I'm going back on the road. It's perhaps an economic necessity. Oh, God. I'm going back on the road, folks. This year, 2026, I will be hitting... Next year, 2026, I will be hitting a city near you. First date, Seattle, Washington, January 22nd to the 24th. 5 shows. Get your tickets at emeraldcitycomedy.com. There's also a link in the description. My man over here, Mr. Knows What Year It is going to be there too. Mr. Caleb Pitts. Give it up for him. Caleb Pitts, everyone. Also, I'd like to, as always, thank our members for supporting us here on youtube.com. You make the show possible. Members get access to all of our episodes early, and if you join at the 2nd or 3rd tiers, you get your name in the credits of this fine program. If you'd like to join the Friedland Family Foundation, you could do so by clicking the join button here on YouTube at the top of the page or clicking the link in the description below. You could also support us on Patreon if you prefer. The link for that is also in the description. Finally, merch is available. Go to theadamfriedland.show to check it out. Shirts, hats, some hoodies. We got the freaking sick... You want to just, yeah. My man got the hoodie over there. They're all available right now. Get them before they're gone. They're flying like hotcakes. My guest this week is Emmy Award-winning actor William H. Macy. I call him Bill, personally, but you probably know him as William. William is known for many roles in film and television, gritty properties like Fargo and Shameless. Bill, on the other hand, is known by me for roles of some of my favorite films. The Tale of What is this?
Despereaux.
Are these movies that he was in?
Those are great movies. Great movies.
So we're doing the thing again where Caleb writes it and then I'm not good at reading. Bill, on the other hand, is known by me for roles in some of my favorite films, like The Tale of Despereaux or Marmaduke. He's in Marmaduke? The dog one? That's funny. Okay, see, some enjoy mystery, horror, romance. I like talking animal movies. There's a certain funniness to an animal that speaks English. And to sit across from a veteran of the genre, a man portrayed not only Dr. Don... What? And to sit across from a veteran of the genre, a man who portrayed not only Don Twombly, but also Despereaux's father, Lester. What a treat. Sometimes I can't believe my life. Ladies and gentlemen, William H. Macy. Wow, it's a nice pick. The eyes, too. Phenomenal. Give it up for him, guys. And Thomas Eisman, Caleb Pitts. I love my team. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, our next guest is a legendary American actor. It's a great honor. William H. Macy, everyone. Give it up for him. Guys, boys, a lot of noise. What do you think? 40,000 people.
Yes.
40,000.
Don't get up.
Stop. You stop.
You're
crazy. We really let out the insane asylum with these guys, huh?
We're in an empty room.
We're gonna do. Oh, don't
Three people
please.
here.
An empty room. Would you say that if you were shooting a picture and
No, I would only say that on your show.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for coming on. So he's a
My
huge
pleasure.
fan. He hasn't missed a single episode. Apparently, that's what you were telling me before.
I think I missed one.
Yeah. I think he's missed every episode, so this is going to be. It's a great honor. I've been watching a lot of interviews with you, and I do quite extensive research, and you're Bill,
Yeah.
and I can say Bill.
Yes, you can.
That makes me feel famous, kind of. You know what I mean?
I'm glad.
I remember like
You're
when
a cheap date, but I'm glad.
I just want to go into you a little bit, your upbringing, and then kind of just work our way out from there.
Sure.
I think you grew up. You were born in Miami. You grew up around Atlanta and then Maryland. Is that correct?
Correct.
Your father was a bomber in World War II.
He flew a B-17 in World War II. He was a pilot.
He was a pilot. Did he get shot down?
No.
There was no Hogan's Heroes situation with him?
No. When the 8th Air Force first went to England, they would send over 80 planes and 20 would come back. It was just this shy of a suicide mission. By the time my dad got there, 80 would go over and only 20 would not come back. So
Yeah.
it was death-defying, man.
From what I understand, the RAF, they would do nighttime just like bombing
Yeah.
raids, and they just bomb indiscriminately. But the United States
The
Air
U.S.
Force
said we can't hit anything.
yeah, we would go surgical, and then thus it was a lot more dangerous.
It was a big controversy
Yeah.
because in daylight bombing, you stood a much bigger chance of getting shot down. By the time my dad got there, the Luftwaffe was pretty much blown out of the skies,
Yeah.
and that was one thing. But there was still a lot of flack.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been fun to be in one of those prank kind of prisoner of war camps where they were like,
Hogan's Heroes,
pranking
yeah.
the commandante.
Oh,
yeah.
jokes out the wazoo.
That's
yeah.
what they made it look like, Hogan's Heroes. Yeah.
I took my dad to see, well, a war movie that was about B-17s and bomber pilots. I said, "What'd you think?" And he said, "That's ludicrous. It's ludicrous. First of all, you can't talk. You can't take the headsets off and talk. And
So,
even with
yeah.
the headsets, you can. There were 4 Rolls-Royce engines with no mufflers on them.
I mean,
my
they
dad
must have gone
had-
deaf. Yeah.
Yeah. My dad had hearing loss from that. And the second thing, of course, in this movie, they thought bombing was not dramatic enough, so they put interstitiary fighting between the bombardier and the pilot.
Yeah,
and my
yeah.
father said, "Oh my God, that's the stupidest premise ever." When you were up there, man, you didn't think of anything except getting back alive.
I mean, it was just like literally like 10% would come back. So like
At the beginning.
at the beginning, yeah. My grandfather was a cartographer in the RAF actually, and he was stationed in Italy. And then after he died, I guess the flirt back in the day, instead of like messaging someone on Instagram, was a snapshot. It was like a passport-sized photograph, and then the girl would write a note on the back. And after he died, my father and I were emptying out his office, and there were stacks of these pictures of Italian women in post-war Italy that were like, "Barney, I've never known a lover like you." And I was like, he was cleaning up. But yeah, I mean, I think being in the air, I think, was a sexy thing to chicks.
Oh man. One time I was living in Chicago. I grew up in Cumberland, Maryland, so you had to go to Baltimore, Washington Airport. And I said, "Pop, can you take me?" He said, "Yeah, I'll take you." I said, "We should leave at blah, blah, blah to get there. It's a long drive." And he said, "No, I'll take you." I said, "Yeah, I'm just saying I got to be there an hour before." And he said, "No, I'll take you." I said, "What are you saying?" He said, "I'll take you." I said, "To Chicago?" He said, "Yeah, I'll take you." And he drove me to Chicago. We took 2 days to do it. We hadn't gotten out of the driveway when my dad started telling me about every woman he had ever slept with.
How bad was this war?
He
These
said,
guys were getting trim left and right. Not in the Pacific,
like
though.
crazy. And the second the war was over, it went back to that puritanical thing. But during the war, all bets were off.
He's like, "I'm not Lutheran."
All the way to Chicago, I sat there with my mouth open, just listening, soaking it up. And it was before cell phones. If I could have recorded that, oh my God.
Oh my word! Yeah, it's nice to know that our the older members of our family, we're cool guys. It makes you feel good. I'm glad my grandfather. Yeah, his older brother was a gunner in the RAF, also stationed in Italy, and a friend of his had he took a shift for a guy, and he was shot down by the Nazis over Crete. And he's my father's namesake, actually, Max Friedland. He's like, that's the one instance of heroism in our entire family tree, is that guy. But anyway, I want to get to you. So from what I understand, you knew that you wanted to go into acting and dramatic arts fairly young. What were some like films and like performances and actors that kind of spoke to you when you were growing up?
I did it in high school, and I didn't fail, which was new for me. And then I did it in college, and then I finally went to a hippie college in Vermont called Goddard College, and that's where I met David Mamet.
Yeah.
And he taught me everything I know.
Who's your mentor, if I understand?
My mentor, my pal, and he gave me my career, and he taught me everything I know about acting, and he's the smartest guy I've ever met, present company excluded. And
I'm smarter than
I saw The French Connection
Oh.
with Gene Hackman.
Yeah.
And I thought, if I could ever act like that, that was my goal and remains my goal.
How old were you when you saw that?
20s.
In your 20s. And you were like, that.
Man.
Have you ever been in a car chase? I mean, I assume the actors don't drive the cars, but.
I haven't. But in that one, this is before they started to crack down on that stuff. Gene Hackman was driving, and I've read stories that they owned a bunch of the streets, but not all of them.
Oh yeah, and it's also Marseille. It's in Marseille, right? Which is like a mafia city.
No, New York.
Well, but it starts off in Marseille.
Yes, it does.
Yeah,
but the car chase.
So the car chases are
the
in New
arrest.
York. Yeah,
was,
But those are like under the elevated trains, of course.
God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So those old Gene Hackman. Rest in peace, by the way. Yeah.
I never got to act with him. Dave did a movie with him. He was never bad. I saw him in some stinky movies. He was
always the best
never
part.
bad.
It's true. Yeah, it's really just like, I don't think there's anyone that's, I mean, yourself included, actually. The two of you might be the most, just every time you're on screen, everyone's like, oh, great. Like, my pal. Yeah, it feels that way. Yeah.
Oh, that's a good thing.
When you were studying with David Mamet, like, as you've said, he was your mentor. Like, what specifically were the things and the lessons that he imparted on you that you've taken into your career?
Well, it was a hippie college, so there were no grades and no tests and no requirements. So we did theater all day.
Yeah.
And all night sometimes. And there was a class of about 30. He graduated from Goddard, and he'd gone to New York, and he was did 1 year of the neighborhood playhouse. And then he came back then. So the technique is Stanislavski through Meisner, roughly. And he refined it. When I start talking about acting technique, I can see the will to live drained from people. So just stop me at any time.
No, I'm getting a free class right now,
right.
basically. The cameras aren't even on.
Yeah.
I'm a schizophrenic person who's recreated the Dick Cavett show set,
You
basically
did,
I've
didn't
spent
you?
all my life savings, and when they run out, I'm not going to be able to talk to.
Well, that's
the
sad.
great
I'm glad I made
American-
it before that happened.
Yeah, hopefully.
Anyway, he took the Meisner technique, which is all about the objective as opposed to the emotions, and he refined it even more. So the lessons that he gave me, he said, it doesn't matter how you feel, it's what you do. I'm talking about you acting when the camera's rolling or the curtain is up. It's what you do about it. Don't worry about how you feel about it. He said, he taught us that the founder of the feast is the writer, and that it's not an actor's job to be funny. It's the writer's job to be funny or dramatic, and that our job was to find a solution to these problems and never give up. So irrespective of what you're doing, figure out what to do to fix it and let the rest go hang. He taught us that the audience only wants to know one thing and one thing only: what happens next. That's it. He simplified it. And you know what? It stuck with me for my whole life. He said, as an actor, if anyone ever treats you with disrespect, quit. Leave the room. Don't ever let that happen. And this was back in a time when acting teachers were notoriously vicious. Notoriously
like cult
vicious.
leaders, in fact.
Yes, rip your soul out of you.
They want to convince you that you were like molested, even if you weren't. Like they were like, yeah. I've had friends have horror stories about acting teachers.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Awful, awful. And I loved him for that because it's true. It's true.
Yes.
I even talked to a really famous teacher one time. We were drinking. I ended up standing on the table saying, "You're a fucking asshole." He thought it was his job to rip people down emotionally, just to leave them in tatters and then rebuild them.
Yeah.
And I said, man, I'd love to teach you how to teach and rip you down and destroy your self-esteem so that I could make you a better teacher.
Also, you're teaching because you don't know how the fuck to act.
Well,
I mean, kind
you
of.
said it, I didn't.
I mean, it's like sometimes when you read a review, like that's why like Roger Ebert made like an incredible movie, right? And I think like to some extent it's like if you're talking shit on some other people's, like
You better.
you better just be able to do it yourself, you know? Like Beyond the Valley of the Dolls is an incredible picture, but
I will say, Dave Mamet is a magnificent teacher and director, and he knows more about storytelling than anybody I've ever met. He couldn't act his way out of a paper bag, and he was the first to
well,
say
he's a
it.
filmmaker, you know?
He's a filmmaker.
Yeah, yeah, and as you know, playwright and a screenwriter. I mean, it's so funny to imagine him at a hippie college, though. That's the visual that I'm getting, because he's just like a fucking alpha male, like sergeant major general, you know, and like he's surrounded by like the dawning of the age of Aquarius. And
You're
he's
not
like,
wrong. You're not wrong. We showed up. First thing he said is, "You got to be on time. If you're not on time, I'll kick you out of the class." And on time means 5 minutes early. After that, I'll lock the door. And all this, you know, my hair was down to here. I think I was stoned for the first 5 classes anyway, because I was stoned all day anyway. And
you're like, hey,
I thought,
President
what?
Nixon, man.
Yeah. What? On time?
On
What's
time,
your
man.
problem? Jesus. Chill out.
And so you got your start in theater in Chicago with him. Is that correct?
Yeah, my friend Stephen Schachter and me, after graduating from Goddard, we wanted to start a theater company. That's another thing Dave taught us. You can sit by the phone or you can make your own fun. And we decided to make our own fun. So we went to LA, tried to start a theater there, which is like opening a Sunday school in Beirut. It was just not a good idea. And Dave called up and he said, "Billy, Stevie, I just wrote this play. It's called Squirrels. Says, come on to Chicago." And he had just done Sexual Perversity in Chicago, which was a huge hit. Did it at the Organic Theater. Stuart Gordon directed it. And yeah, he was the bees. He was the, sorry about that. He was the, I saw.
Is that your daughter?
Yeah.
Does she know the show? She might know the show.
I'll bet she does. She knows everything.
She'll tell you it's good.
There was a Simon and Garfunkel concert one time when the phone rang and Art Garfunkel said, "Stop!" And he stopped the band and he said, "You better get that. It could be important."
He was a good actor too.
Yes, he was.
I just watched Carnal Knowledge.
Fabulous.
What a
film.
movie!
Mike Nichols.
Had you ever worked with him before?
No.
No. He came out of the theater as well. You know, you could tell in his.
Nichols?
Yeah.
Yeah, Second City.
Him and Elaine May were just like.
I got to work with Elaine once.
She is the best.
Yes.
The fucking best. I saw her in a Kenneth Lonergan play.
Yeah.
Probably 8 years ago, and it like floored me. She played like a matriarch that was like early stage dementia, and the whole family was fucking sick and tired of her. And it's just it breaks you, that movie.
Oh man.
What was she like to interact with?
Pretty crazy. She had written the play. It was called Mr. Gogol and Mr. Preen at Lincoln Center, and She's a kook. She's an eccentric
Yeah.
and delightful and smart as a whip. Indefatigable knowledge of all things theatrical.
Yeah.
It was something.
I found out when she made Ishtar, she was one of 2 women in the Directors Guild
Jeez.
at the time. I had no
Whoa.
idea. Yeah.
I liked Ishtar. Remember how they just skewered it?
I liked
I
Ishtar.
loved it.
Well, it was like because she was spending so much money.
The camel.
Yeah,
the camel
yeah.
sunk
She
her.
was- well, you know what I really liked about that movie was that they got them to play against type.
Totally.
Dustin Hoffman's the pimp and Warren Beatty's the nebbish.
I know.
Yeah, yeah. Dustin Hoffman's
Genius
the
casting.
Yeah.
And they were both great.
Oh my God, we love them. They're amazing. Yeah.
You can't, what's the song? You can't get respect if you play an accordion.
The songs, I love funny songs
Yeah.
too. You know, that as a through line throughout that movie is hilarious as well. You know, I hate that I have this instinct to do it, but we're really annoying people. But it's just so funny because every name that comes up, you're just surrounded by Jewish people.
It was good for me. One, I was exotic.
Yeah, no, literally.
I still had a bit of a southern
You're
accent.
Brazilian, basically.
Yeah, right. So they sort of marveled at me, and every once in a while when we'd read something by A.R. Gurney or something, I had to translate. You know, this is what wasps do, and Dave once described me as being Hebraically challenged. He was on me all the time.
He was a wild man. He was like a gambler and like a cigar. He had cigars and stuff like that.
Yeah.
He was kind of like a what do you call it? Like Peckinpah or something. He was like,
Well, strangely, he's the most courtly and gentlemanly man I've ever met.
Really?
Yeah, he's really good that way. And a laser sharp mind. I've seen him on a set greet the extras and introduce himself, and 14 hours later he says good night to them by name.
oh, he has that like Bill Clinton type
Yep.
quality.
Yep.
Where he's like just knows people's yeah. I mean, the man's a genius. You told a story about in Chicago when he was living in the hotel on a podcast that I heard once, and I just thought it was so funny. But,
The Hotel Lincoln, yeah.
yeah, but you were saying that like he would just disappear for weeks on end, and you were like, he's on another gambling bender, and
Well, he put this in American Buffalo, which was based on his card game, which was uptown at a Kenny's resale shop. And Dave was Teach, and Kenny was Donnie. And I got to meet Kenny. And you'd know whether Dave had won or not by his wristwatch. If he had his wristwatch, he was doing fine. If he had no wristwatch, we had to get the check.
did you have some rough customers after him? Was he like, don't pick up the
No,
phone
no,
today?
no.
Yeah,
I
you
don't
didn't
think
have
so.
you didn't have some like
No.
you didn't have some
No.
guys
That
threaten-
tough guy thing that he puts on. He's a lover, not a fighter.
I mean,
Although
he's the best.
he's been taking jiu-jitsu
I know.
for 100 years, so
He's-
I wouldn't
yo,
want to tackle him.
I would tackle David Mamet without even saying hello. I would take him down. No, you were in a lot of the original productions of a lot of his, and you've been in a lot of pictures that he's made. But like from there, like what was the decision to kind of move to New York and then eventually LA and like get in the business, make movies, be in movies?
We were pretty snobby in Chicago. I was there a little less than 10 years. We started a theater company called the St. Nicholas Theater Company. We were part of that off-loop renaissance, as
Yeah.
they called it. Our theater was on Halsted Street. And we were the bee's knees. We started the theater with 3 solid gold hits. You had to know me to get a ticket. We were sold out. Reality set in shortly after that. But I think in the back of my mind, I always wanted to make movies.
Yeah.
But at the time, we thought, I don't need to go to New York. It's better theater here than in New York.
Yeah. It was the same. I do stand up, so it was like I started in Washington D.C. and like you start in a tertiary scene, then at a certain point you have to go to New York or L.A. if you want to make a career
Kinda.
of it. Yeah. So like you were working for about 10 years prior to like, I think in the 80s and early 90s you were like auditioning all the time. You were on the 4th ever episode of Law and Order.
I was in the first Law and Order.
The first.
They aired it for the
fourth.
as the fourth.
I mean, that's an honor.
I didn't know that until a couple of years ago
mean,
when
it's an
someone said you were in the pilot of Law and Order, which is how actors paid their rent in New York for many years. That and Spencer for Hire.
Is that a demoralizing process, like going out all the time, like, you know, going to set for a couple days, just like being on that treadmill?
Yes.
Yeah, sucks.
Yes. Auditioning is awful. If there were a better way, I'm sure someone would have thought of it, but it's soul-sucking. It's really rough. Of the good things that have happened to me right after my wife and daughters, not having to audition is really up there.
Did that happened after Fargo, I would assume?
About a year or two after Fargo.
Yeah, because you got the nomination.
I don't know. Someone should have told me, just get an Oscar nomination, you can quit auditioning. I should have done it years earlier.
Do you know if you're gonna win or not when you're you don't know. They don't tip you off.
No, no.
Did you have like a prepared face for like if you didn't win?
A speech?
No, a face. Like if they say someone else's name, like you don't want to be like,
Yes.
fuck.
Yes. Because a couple of guys have.
Yeah, yeah.
Or women.
What do you do with your face? And the winner is
You pretend you're really happy that they won because
who won that year? It was Cuba.
Cuba Gooding.
Oh, that was rough. That was a big year. I mean, your performance in Fargo, and I want to get into it a little bit, is just like the man is in hell. Like, the man is just in literal hell.
It's a genius script.
How did you walk us through the auditioning for it? Like, I mean, you'd been on ER at that point for a couple seasons. So, and you know, like you were making a living. You know, you're paying the damn rent.
Yeah, I'd moved to LA. And I had enough juice that I was working all the time, guest stars and that kind of thing.
Yeah. And so how did you know that this, because from what I understand, like you kind of pushed it.
Real hard.
Yeah, yeah.
Dave Mamet taught me everything I know. I think I'm pretty good at reading scripts. And here's what I do. And I suggest it. I try to read them in one sitting. I kind of skip over the stage directions because they're
Everyone
nonsense.
does.
They
Everyone
don't help
does.
you.
Yeah.
And if you can see the film in your mind's eye, you can read it if you skip the stage directions. You can pretty much read it in the length of time the film will be. When you see it in your mind's eye, it's pretty easy to decide which are the good ones and which are the bad ones.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty good at reading scripts, and I
you were
read
like,
Fargo.
this is an American masterpiece.
Yes,
Yeah.
I was doing No, I was terrified that I wouldn't get it. It was perfect for me. I knew how to do the thing when I turned the last page. I knew exactly how to do it. So they called me in to read for the detective role, and they said, that's real good. You want to read Jerry Lundegaard? And I said, yeah. And I went out in the hall and I read it, came back in. They said, that's real good. You want to work on it and come tomorrow? And I said, absolutely. I was up all night. Everybody I knew in LA was there. I probably memorized my entire part
The whole
before
movie?
morning. Yeah. And
Damn.
I auditioned again. They said, that's real good. And then I found out they were auditioning in New York, so I got my Lutheran ass on an airplane and I crashed that audition, and I said, I really want this part. I'm scared you're going to screw up your movie by not casting me.
That's Mamet. That's like, don't be afraid of these pussies.
Yeah.
That's like that day. It seems like what he taught you to do is act, but also just like this is all bullshit. Just like, if you want something, go for it.
Yes, that was not a good idea what I did. It worked. I don't recommend it.
What did you do?
Don't do that.
What'd you say?
I said, you're going to fuck up your movie if you don't cast me. I think I went farther and told Ethan, who had a new puppy, that I would kill the dog if he didn't cast me. Thank God he laughed.
Last Christmas, I gave you my heart, but this Christmas, I'm redeeming myself with Aura frames. Guys, our grandparents are getting up there in age. I'm sorry to break it to you, but they're fucking old. And what they want mostly is to remember anything, in fact, but more specifically to remember the good times. The times when they stormed the beaches of Normandy, when they put the flower in the barrel of Hitler's gun, and he shot himself. Of course, your grandfather wants to remember the good times. The time when he was throwing flowers. So instead of getting a picture of one of these things, you can get him an aura frame where he could see all these things, the memories of his life, like when him and Samuel L. Jackson had bananas. And you can have all of these photos in one with an Aura frame. Just download the Aura app and connect to Wi-Fi. Keep adding from anywhere, anytime, and add a message before it arrives. Straight from your phone all year long. Every frame comes packaged in a premium gift box with no price tag. Don't wait. Win the holidays with Aura Frames. And for a limited time, visit auraframes.com to get $45 off Aura's best-selling Carver matte frames, named #1 by Wirecutter by using promo code TAFS at checkout. That's AURA frames.com, promo code TAFS. This exclusive Black Friday Cyber Monday deal is their best of the year, so order now before it ends. Support the show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply. Hair loss isn't just about hair. It's about how you feel when you look in the mirror. Hims helps you take back that confidence with access to simple, personalized care that fits your life. Hims offers convenient access to a range of prescription hair loss treatments with ingredients that work, including chews, oral medications, serums, and sprays. Doctor-trusted, clinically proven ingredients like finasteride and minoxidil can stop further hair loss and regrow hair in as little as 3 to 6 months. You shouldn't have to go out of your way to feel like yourself. Hims brings expert care straight to you with 100% online access to personalized treatment plans that put your goals first. No hidden fees, no surprise costs, just real personalized care on your schedule. Think of Hims as a digital front door that gets you back to your old self with simple 100% online access to trusted treatments for real health concerns all in one place. So for simple online access to personalized, affordable care, for hair loss, ED, weight loss, and more, visit hims.com/TAFS. That's hims.com/TAFS for your free online visit. hims.com/TAFS. Individual results may vary based on studies of topical and oral minoxidil and finasteride. Featured products include compound drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription required. See website for full details, restrictions, and important safety information.
By the way, Ethan Coen has a show at the Atlantic Theater Company, which I'm part of. It's called Let's Love. Run, don't walk. It's the funniest thing. It's magnificent.
They're geniuses.
They're geniuses. And Ethan is a stunning writer. It's so freaking funny.
They are the best. I mean, when I saw Serious Man, I know you're not in it, but I went into a 3-month depression.
Yes.
Because it's about just how, it's just beyond how bullshit life is. It's about how bullshit being Jewish is. And my dad also went into a 3-month depression. The two of us I called him. I was like, I'm still fucking thinking about that movie.
They are really good at getting under your skin.
It's not about the emotion, it's about what you do, right? You said that before.
Yeah.
So it's not a matter of like drilling into some past trauma. What it is just approaching the work for what the assignment is, right?
That's a good way of putting it. That's our assignment.
Yeah. So is that how you went into London Garden? Obviously, there's a dialect aspect of it too.
Yeah.
There's like Minnesota nice, which you were like fucking perfect at. Not very nice, but.
I come from the school. I'm not saying you don't have to do some research. If you're going to play a doctor, you got to learn how to do all that stuff. If it's an accent, you have to study. If there's some physicalization, you've got to memorize that. But those are externals. They're not acting. The acting is looking at each other and deciding what I'm going to do about what you just said and making that decision. It's improvisatory.
You have beautiful eyes.
It's got to be improvisatory. Same words. I don't believe in ad-libbing. I say learn the script. Of course, when Dave Mamet writes a script, nobody has to be told to learn it exactly. Actors love his script so much, they hold themselves to a higher standard than Dave does. I've never heard him bark at someone about paraphrasing
Loving a line.
As a matter of fact, I've heard him say, "Whoa, you keep saying that way. I must have wrote it wrong."
Really? So he's not precious at all.
Not at all.
That's very interesting.
Isn't it?
Yeah. Going from Fargo, like you had that Oscar what does it feel like sitting there at the Academy Awards? Did you want to win? It seems like
Dear God, you want to win.
you want to fucking win. Do you have to go to a party afterwards?
Don't have to.
But did you?
No.
You drove home.
You only go to the party when you win.
You only go when you win.
And then it's a great party.
Yeah.
When you lose, the world is out of sync. And then you get home and you take off your monkey suit and there's your speech, which is so much better than any speech that was given that night. This is a great speech.
But it's also best supporting, so you got to wrap it up fast because it's the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
That's the one where they start playing the music.
Yeah.
And you have in the speech you have a guy that you deliberately don't thank, right?
No. Why?
If you're I would if I was mad at someone, I would just forget to say their name, and you know who you are. I have no idea what I'm saying.
I think, and I hope you get to go to the Academy Awards sometime as a nominee, but I'll tell you, it's overwhelming. There's no time to think of clever stuff. Maybe if you're one of those guys if you're Meryl Streep and this is your 40th trip, but I was a live wire.
Oh my God.
I was cavalier about it on the way in too, because I was directing a play here, and it's that whole Chicago attitude. I thought, I got a play to do. Fuck the Academy Awards, So I didn't do much of a campaign.
Woody would never go, apparently.
I know a lot of people that won't go, especially people that have gone.
It's kind of
enough.
a baller move.
Yeah, I think you get old enough and you think, I've done it. I gave it the office. I don't need to do this anymore. The Oscars, I don't know. The Emmys, I don't know. But there's a bunch of awards out there, and sometimes you get exhausted.
Yeah, I have to go to the SAG East. Yeah, it's in a tent. The food is cold.
On the other hand, if you can hold it lightly, that's where you get to meet all your pals. It's fabulous.
It's a fun night.
I've been to the Emmys a lot of
You have
times.
2.
And I got 2. And there were all of us, for about 3 or 4 years. We'd see this, all of us. And Modern Family, Shameless and Modern Family was always there.
Do you talk shit to them?
No, quite
Like,
the opposite.
cool show.
When we would lose, both tables would get up and we're all toasting each
so
other
it's
while
fun.
somebody else is walking up there. We're going, yeah.
When did you meet Paul Thomas Anderson? How did that come to pass?
They sent me Boogie Nights, and the script they sent me was even more racy. I thought it was being punked, and I called my agent. He said, no, this is legit. It's got to have an R rating. That's in the contract. And then when I got back to town, I was working someplace. I went to see his film Hard 8, and I thought, I'll read the newspaper for this guy.
Was he 25?
Yes, it's a fabulous film.
Jesus Christ.
And him doing Boogie Nights, and I've told the story a lot, and I think Paul's okay with it. But I went there ready to put the full court press on him. How I saw the through line, the way I was going to play it, what I thought the film was. And I said, hey, nice to meet you. And Paul started talking. And he didn't stop for 7 minutes. And he talked me all the way through the film, the way he was going to shoot it. And at a point I realized, oh my God, he's auditioning.
He's also 28.
Not me.
He's 28.
He's 28. I'm the guy who's going to make this decision. And I remember going, tell me more.
You're an Academy Award nominated actor.
I know, but
and he's a
nothing-
28-year-old.
Fargo was out 1.5 years before I started feeling the
love.
The love, yeah.
Well, speaking of flubbed lines, I mean, the thing is, your character kind of sets the insanity of that movie, and like the end of your character's arc just sets the movie explodes, right?
Yes, yes.
And it's the centerpiece kind of the rise and the fall. I like Barry Lyndon also, and they're both rise and fall movies. They're about a Nimrod who nature pushes upwards and then begins to believe in their own genius, and then nature slaps him down.
That's well put.
And but you famously, you steal the show a couple times. You have a couple lines in that movie that are just...
I know what you're talking about.
Okay, the first is, we missed the cum shot. Okay, so that scene is so intense, right?
I know.
And there's no dialogue, and everyone's gasping.
Yeah.
And you break the tension. I mean, it's so funny for that reason. What did you say? We missed the cum shot. Like, he came inside of her. Should we go to stock footage?
Yeah. And everyone's stunned by the size of his member, I think. And Bert played that thing, you know. He was trying to pretend he was in charge, but he had a bomb go off in his face too, you know. And he said, yeah.
That line, and then of course the famous flubbed line.
So,
It was a mistake, correct?
Yeah, the wife is down in the driveway getting laid by all these guys, and Ricky Jay did this speech with me.
Legend.
And I said, do you mind? My wife is down there with an ass in her cock. I can't concentrate right now. And he said, sorry. And Paul came and said, you said ass in her cock. And I said, I did? Sorry. And he said, let's go again. So we did the scene again, and he said, you said ass in her cock again. I said, no, I didn't.
Were you fucking with him?
No. I said, no, I didn't.
It was just a brain worm.
Yeah, a brain fart. I didn't. I said, no, I didn't. I said, check the tape. And he said, let's just go again. Turns out I did it the second time, and the third time I did it correctly. And Paul, and this is why he's Paul Thomas Anderson, he decided there was some wisdom, there was some truth in the reason that I said it wrong.
You were losing
and he
your
used
mind.
It. Yeah.
No, I mean, it's such an amazing story. I mean, how does a set work, right? Like in a production that is so, I mean, does you've been a character actor for a lot of your career, right? And in particular, like PTA's movies are so ensemble-y. They're like Robert Altman's kind of movies. So there's so much chaos going on camera. Like, how is the set chaos? Like, how does one control that? Like, how does a filmmaker control that? And then you as an actor, you're kind of like on a football team, if I had to assume. You're like the nose tackle. Everyone has like a specialized kind of assignment. Like, how do a group of, 11 people become one thing?
That's what's glorious about this business. Everyone thinks Hollywood, it's one thing. There are a bunch of liberal blah, 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 blah. And it's not, as you well know. It's eclectic. It's a hodgepodge of people. And when you get all those people of all different backgrounds and political bents and race and creed and outlooks and ages, and they're all pulling in one direction. It's moving. They're all pulling in one direction for art, for a piece of art.
Yeah.
It's really moving.
What happens if just one guy just fucking sucks?
If you've got a good director and good producer, they'll straighten him or her up. If you don't, you suffer through it.
It's gotta fuck.
One person can really cause a lot of trouble.
You've famously said that before. I think you said something about I want to find that it's a major block for you is that worrying about the potential for someone else. I think I'm pretty sure you're talking about Travolta and Wild Hogs. No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
He was fabulous.
I'm joking.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
No, I think what you're referring to is when I did Shameless, that TV show, it ran 11 seasons. And I finally got my 10,000 hours, if you know the phrase.
The Malcolm Gladwell thing.
Yeah. And one of the things that I learned, which I wish to God I could have learned earlier, was to do my job and let everybody do their job. I I'm pretty sure I was a jerk at the beginning of my career. I thought I knew more than everybody else, and I took responsibility and worried about stuff that was not in my purview at all.
Yeah.
And it causes chaos
Yeah.
when someone does that.
Is there like a key grip or a best boy that you'd like to apologize to?
No, probably more directors and actors.
And so, what
always
would you
been nice
say
to the
if
crew,
John
I think.
Travolta was here about your behavior towards him on the set of Wild Hogs?
You're stirring up the pot, aren't you?
I'm just teasing.
Now, I will tell you this about John Travolta, and this is unknown. There is a hierarchy on the set, and the number one on the call sheet has a responsibility. I mean,
Yeah.
we need no ghost from the grave to tell us that shit flows downhill. So if you've got a bad producer, you know, a mean, disrespectful producer, or a mean, disrespectful director, or a mean, disrespectful number one on the call sheet, everyone's going to suffer. And the converse is true. If those guys are great, or people, men or women, are respectful and kind and create a set that is safe, nobody will act up.
Yeah.
It just, they set the tone. And John is great at that. He's always number one on the call sheet.
Yeah.
And he just sets the tone of kindness and respect on the set.
Being on the set, like a set like Boogie Nights, it feels like, it looks like when you're watching the movie, like these guys are having a blast. Even when
Yes.
the cameras weren't rolling, was it like summer camp or something like that?
There was a lot of joking and a lot of humor on that set because Paul he loves making movies. It shows.
Yeah.
He's got a huge knowledge of every movie ever made, and he loves actors. So he was delighted every second of the day, even when we were chasing the sun or it was a tough scene. Like that first scene, we rehearsed that thing forever.
The tracking shot.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that makes producers very nervous because it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon and you haven't rolled a piece of film yet. But then when you do, the whole scene's done.
Burt Reynolds was a curmudgeon on set, like notoriously.
I made a joke one time. He mentioned Smokey and the Bandit, and I said something snarky, and everyone thought he's going to deck you.
What
man."
did you say? What was the joke? I'm sorry.
He said we were trying to decide how to do something, and he said, "Well, in Smokey and the Bandit, I did blah 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 blah," and I said something to the effect of, "Well, we know how that turned out," and everyone goes, "Oh my God, what have you done?" And I laughed immediately,
like-
going, "Yeah, aren't I funny?" I was just making that was hyperbole, but Paul said, "You came close to getting decked."
Apparently, Mark Wahlberg also says it's the one movie he regrets because he's very Catholic.
Yeah,
A movie about your penis being enormous?
yeah,
What an idiot. If I was in a movie called The Biggest Penis of All Time,
yeah.
and I'm like, oh,
I'd pay
I
them.
really regret that. No,
Yeah.
no, it's like, oh, so embarrassing, that movie about the biggest penis. I watched Magnolia within the last year, and I lost a parent. I hadn't seen it since I'd lost a parent. And my understanding is that Paul wrote it after his father passed away.
Yeah.
But that movie was devastating after
Yeah.
losing a parent. You played Donnie, the quiz kid.
Yes.
And that character is also just in the vein of, you were kind of on a run of like just these tragic men characters. But that performance of yours is just, it's brutal.
Thank you so much.
It's a man reaching out for love and
I
just
know.
no
I have a
one-
lot of love. I just don't know where to put it.
The braces.
Braces.
Getting braces to impress a hunk that just doesn't even know you're alive.
Oh my God. I have to see that. I haven't seen it in a long time. I want to see that again. My daughters just saw it.
It devastates you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's a phenomenal movie. What was it like working with PTA the second time around?
A joy. so many people from Boogie Nights had come on for the second one, so we knew each other. I mean, making a movie is like a pickup baseball team. It's scary, and you get there and
It's your friends.
most people have this experience, you know, when you begin if you got a big role, when you begin the second or third day or the second week, you go, oh, now I know how to do this. I understand this.
Yeah.
If only we could go back and start again. So when it's people you know, there's an ease about it. So it's a head start. I'm a big believer in rehearsal.
Was there someone in that crew that felt like top of the class? Was Phil Hoffman like, working with him, were you like, this is the greatest actor in the
I
world?
think we all knew he was the best of us.
What was it like just in the flesh watching him work? Like, what did he do with the words on the page that were just like, how did he, was it magic or like?
It was a bit magical. First of all I knew about him was Boogie Nights, you know, eating the pencil and hugging himself and so implosive.
The boom pole where he's like basically ejaculating in his own pants is one of the fun.
I missed that part. But,
well, that's right after we missed the cum shot. Or that's right before we missed the cum shot. Yeah.
He makes it look so natural. You have to sort of remind yourself, this is Phil. This is the same guy that did that other thing. He was magnificent. I think I really fell in love with him after Magnolia when I saw him do these other roles. I mean, talk about being a chameleon. And he didn't change his appearance that much.
No.
He was just a different guy in the same skin.
It was almost as if you had never seen him before, but
Yeah.
he looked exactly the same.
Yep. He's a complicated man. All those characters live within him.
Yeah.
Obviously, we found out.
Do you get a better performance when you're like with someone like that?
I think so. I mean, if you want longevity in this business, you can't count on that. But boy, it's a rising tide lifts all boats.
Yeah.
And when the leads in the thing are just killing it and simple and honest and so in your face, when they look at you, you're being looked at. It's powerful. It's powerful medicine.
You're just seeing like him go 99 yards with the ball.
Yeah. Every time.
Yeah. And you're like, I better block for this guy.
Today's episode is sponsored by Incogni. Incogni helps to wipe your personal data from the internet and protect your privacy. Folks, I'm not alone in saying this, but we've all had our data breached. I've been breached numerous times on the PlayStation Network, supermarket, club card. You get breached. I've seen, how many emails have you guys gotten saying that? I think I've gotten maybe 100, and I've never done anything about it until I got this great service, Incogni, which assists you in wiping your personal data in the event of a data breach. Thousands of companies are collecting and trading your personal data without you knowing it. You have the right to request data brokers to delete this information they have about you. It would take years to do this manually. Incogni does the messy work for you. Incogni reaches out to data brokers on your behalf, requesting your personal data removal and dealing with their objections. And oftentimes these data companies hold your most personal information, like your full name, your home address, your social security. So get an extra level of protection with Incogni's custom removals feature in the Unlimited Plan and Family Unlimited Plan. You can point to any people search site or any other website where your information is visible, and one of their privacy agents will take care of the rest for you. I'll give you guys an example. A couple weeks ago, I don't know if you guys saw in the news, there was a massive data breach of Discord servers. I bet a lot of you bastards are on that, and they are now, these data brokers are now privy to your emails, your texts, your call, everything. For any of you, for instance, who have used Discord, your personal information could be in the hands of data brokers, and Incogni could be used to get that information removed. You know, it's a real problem. Employers, landlords, and random strangers can access your personal details without your consent. So use code TAFS at incogni.com/TAFS to get an exclusive 60% off. That's code TAFS at incogni.com/TAFS to get an exclusive 60% off. Claim your 60% off and get your personal data off the market, boys. Chime understands that every dollar counts, and that's why when you set up direct deposit through Chime, you get access to fee-free features like free overdraft coverage, getting paid up to 2 days early with direct deposits, and more. Learn more at chime.com/TAFS. Chime is banking done right. Open a checking account with no monthly fees or no maintenance fees. Get paid up to 2 days early when you set up direct deposit. With qualifying direct deposits, you're eligible for free overdraft of up to $200 on debit card purchases and cash withdrawals. To date, Chime has spotted members over $30 billion. Open a checking account with no monthly fees and no maintenance fees, not to mention access to 47,000 fee-free ATMs, more than the top 3 national banks combined. I remember days where I was $180 overdrafted, $190 overdrafted, even $199 overdrafted. And I shouted at God. I said, why can't someone give me a $200 fee-free overdraft protection? So, and I cursed God. I shouted at him. I said, why can't anyone just bring me a goddamn $200 fee-free overdraft protection? So work on your financial goals through Chime today. Open an account in 2 minutes at chime.com/TAFS. That's chime.com/TAFS. Chime feels like progress.
Chime is a financial technology company, not a bank. Banking services and debit card provided by the Bancorp Bank N.A. or Stride Bank N.A. Members FDIC. Spot me eligibility requirements and overdraft limits apply. Timing depends on submission of payment file. Fees apply at out-of-network ATMs. Bank ranking and number of ATMs according to U.S. News and World Report 2023. Chime checking account required.
You want to hear a great story?
Yes.
It became clear that Shameless was going to run for a while. I think about the 4th or 5th season, we were selling like hotcakes. And Felicity, my wife, said, what are you going to do next season? What are you going to work on next season? I said, what do you mean? She said, well, you've got this lab. You get to act every day. You get to act all this stuff. Do you have a goal, something you want to work on? I married very well. And I said, good God, you're right. I hadn't thought about it. And it sounds trite and it sounds mundane, but one of the foundations of acting is to really look and really listen.
Yeah.
And to a certain extent, really talk to someone.
And to react to what someone else is.
No, you can let that go.
You can let it go.
You can let that go.
Okay, write that down.
But to really look and really listen. So I decided in that next season, I would really look and really listen. And it turns out that's not something you can make a decision and then for the next 10 episodes or 12 episodes, you'll do it. You have to remind yourself before every single, not only scene, every take. You got to remind yourself because everything is trying to push your attention back on yourself. Everything.
Right.
And this is what happened. we would do a take, and I would go, God, Bill, really look and really listen. So we'd do the second take, and I would really look at my fellow actor. And 9 times out of 10, they would go, I'm sorry, you've got to cut. I have
creeping me
no
out."
idea what my line is. Sorry, I just went up on my lines.
You're getting in their heads.
They saw me really looking at them, and they went, what's going on?
Really?
Yeah.
So did they have to account for that, or did they?
I don't think they ever knew. It's because I was really looking at them rather than actor looking at them.
Right. As a guy.
As the
guy.
As the guy, yeah.
As the guy.
No, as me.
As you. Yeah.
That's the difference. There is no character. This is another tenet of this thing.
I like this. This makes a whole lot more sense than this. Like, when you were 3, you pissed yourself, and that you have to bring this into your scene where you're playing some sort of Marvel superhero. It doesn't make any sense. It's like
I don't think it's possible
it's
either.
so cultish.
I know for me, when everybody gets quiet and the camera starts rolling, I've got all I can do to get the lines out properly and to really look at someone and improvise with them. Throw them a curveball, see what they do, figure out what I'm going to do based on that. I can't think of another thing to do. So the idea of bringing forth the time Sparky got run over. I can't do that. Or even if you do it before the scene, it's gone.
You're like a guy going to the office, and you're doing your job, and you're focusing on your fucking job.
Yeah, it's a craft.
Yeah.
It's really a craft. If you do it well enough, it's an art, but ain't everything.
Yeah.
Character, the idea of character is a trick we play on the audience as a magician would, and the audience says, yes, trick me again.
Yeah, I think that is like an articulation of
That's why Dave,
acting that is like the most down to earth articulation of the craft that I think I've ever heard a performer give.
that's why Atlantic Theater Company, which has a school, they call it practical aesthetics,
Yeah.
with the emphasis being on practical.
Is it annoying to work with a guy that's just like fully method, and he's like, and you're like eating lunch with him, and you're like, come on, dude.
This is one of the things I learned in.
Stop it. We're not actually ninjas, okay?
Yeah, right.
We're playing ninjas at work.
Yeah.
We're adults wearing costumes.
President Lincoln, it's for you.
Who was like that? Like, is there anyone in particular that was like that?
Oh, sure. It's a common story that they want to be the character.
Brando was like that, right?
Nah, I don't know. Off stage, I'm not sure. I've never heard that.
He's the best.
He's the best.
Who's been your hero throughout your career?
In theory, Meryl Streep could be bad, but she's never been bad yet.
Oh.
She can do anything. I'd love to work with her if she's listening. The aforementioned
Me
Gene
too. I would
Hackman,
love it.
a genius actor. Never saw him be bad. There's a whole bunch of them, man.
You guys are good.
So acting's gotten better. I mean, it was just 75 years ago when, to show that you were upset, you went like this. That's not that long ago that was acting, and look where we are now.
There's a movie I really like with you that, like, I don't know if anyone remembers, especially not these boys. They were born after 9/11. You were? Yeah. That's crazy. Anyway,
My hemorrhoid just acted up when he
you
said
gave him
that.
a hemorrhoid.
No,
What's
he's
that?
had it, but it just hurt when he said
Why'd you hurt his hemorrhoid? The Cooler.
Fabulous.
What a good movie.
Fabulous.
You kind of returned kind of to your broken man.
And I'll tell you, they sent me the cooler, and I thought, nope, if I do this, I'm just going to be Jerry Lundegaard for the rest of my life, the hapless loser. I don't want to play that role.
Because in real life, you're one of the coolest guys I've ever met.
I think so, too.
Maybe they named it that to trick you into thinking it's a cool guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a movie
But
about
no.
a cool guy.
God bless Ed Pressman, who I'm pretty sure I had that right, was the producer. He wouldn't take no for an answer. And the director, they just hounded me, and I'm glad I did it. And you guys should see it.
It's a movie
If not
about
for me, for Maria Bello. She is just stunning.
It's a really touching love story there. Yeah, like it's a movie about a casino who hires a guy who's such a loser that his loserdom actually kind of radiates towards the guy at the table. And
The casino
he
has hired
fucks
me.
up.
If someo's at blackjack and winning all the
They
time,
just bring him
all
out,
I got to
and
do
he
is
has to
sit
go
down.
sit there and have a drink, and then the guy starts losing.
There's a scene of a guy throwing craps, and he's winning every time. And I just walk by in my ill-fitting suit,
Yeah.
schlumped by, and I just put my hand on the table, and I walk away. And as soon as I walk away, you hear, oh!
Well, you're 75 now?
I'm 75.
You look fucking great.
Ah, thanks.
How'd you do it? No drinking? No smoking?
I own a distillery. I don't own the whole thing. Woody Creek Distillers. Nope. I love to drink.
You love to drink? Why do you look so good?
Beats me. I think I can thank Mom and Dad and every woman I've ever gone out with exercised like crazy. So I did it too. And Felicity is no exception. And then about 22 years ago, we hired a trainer in LA. And we've had the same trainer for 22 years. I'm still working with her. So I work out.
You work out.
I work out, and I gave up meat maybe 10 years ago, and I'm cutting back on the drinking because it's hard on you.
Oh, I was gonna say after this we could. I know it's.
Oh, okay.
It's like what time is it? It's noon.
It's 12 o'clock somewhere, dude.
It's 12 o'clock. It is literally probably
No,
12
I'm
o'clock
fine.
right now. Personally, like once you're engaged with your work, I feel this way right now. Like I don't really ever want to stop doing, like working.
I hear you.
You know, and like so, what motivates you? Like looking ahead, like future challenges. Like, you know, you've directed, of course. You've written. But like, what is, you know, what are you searching for? Like, or are you content? Like, just drinking in Colorado?
When I took off some time, it turns out I'm not good at that. I need some sort of creative challenge. It's the way I've always challenged myself in my life, and I think I need that. Turns out I'm not as rich as I thought I was, too. And
What did she do?
who?
Your wife? Would she bought a boat?
No.
Okay.
She makes more money than I do. No, I like to live large. And
You do?
I do.
What you're an ostentatious gentleman?
No, but we still have a house in LA and one in Woody Creek, and that's expensive. And I like not looking at the check. Just
Me
go
neither.
anywhere.
I don't know
want.
how
Just
much
sign
money
it.
I have. Yeah.
It's a great
They'll
feeling.
call me when
Also,
I'm out.
I've got 2 daughters, and I'd love to make sure that they can do anything in their lives that they want to. I agree with Warren Buffett. I want to give them enough money they can do anything they want to, but not enough to do nothing.
Right. I have a friend who's a billionaire son who just reads that Karl Ove Knausgaard book and smokes cigarettes. He just has nothing to do. he just smokes cigarettes and reads My Struggle by Karl Ove Knausgaard. It's really like he's got great Knicks tickets.
To answer your question, though, I still like acting, and I feel like I recently got pretty good at it. I put down a lot of baggage
You're not
that I
bad.
carried around. Yeah, I think I can do it. And there's always an altacocker in any film, so I think there's work for me. Do I want to carry a film?
Do you want to Paris, Texas?
Yeah. I did one called Happy Texas. Have you ever seen that?
Great movie.
Fabulous.
The guys on the lam, and they have to act like gay guys, and then you're the sheriff,
Exactly. And I'm the sheriff.
right? And you're gay.
Yeah, and I fall in love with one of them.
What do you make of like the shift in the industry? So obviously you were on a television series for 11 years, right? It seems like there's been a shift towards that medium.
Yep. TV's where it's at.
Do you
Streaming.
Do you miss the movies?
Yeah,
I miss them.
me too.
Remember that when they were about people?
They're still about people.
Sometimes they're just trying to engage with some.
Oh, the
sort of-
movies.
The movies.
Yeah, it seems that
They want to.
comic books are the only thing that they can guarantee. But there's a shift. It's recent, last couple of years.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of indies, and sometimes they just four-wall them and put them in theaters, but there are a bunch of them I've been involved with where they're going into theaters, and I think they might succeed. I've got this one that's coming out any minute, and
Train
it's called
Dreams?
No, Soul on Fire.
Okay.
I think they're going to put it in 1,000 theaters.
Who made it? You want
It
to
was
tell
an
us a little
indie.
bit? It was
It's
an indie.
indie. I'm behind I think they might have sold it, but I don't know who they sold it to. Anyway,
Saudi Arabia.
yeah, I'm off to St. Louis next week for the opening, and I'll find out a lot more. Lovely film.
What is it about?
It's a true story about this guy who, as a child, was burned over 90% of his body, 92%. He should have died, but he didn't. And I played Jack Buck, the
Cardinals announcer?
Cardinals announcer. And
Joe Buck's dad.
yep, I met Joe. And I did a look-alike with Jack, you know, with that
Yeah.
white hair. I did that, and it was really weird. When I met the family, I was on set the first time they saw me, and here I am, dressed and looking like their father. But they were very cool about it.
That's your second announcer role, right? The Seabiscuit. You're the
TikTok.
You're TikTok. Yeah. You're the guy with the sound effects.
I
guy.
know, that's a great role.
That
Gary
guy was.
Ross.
You were talking a mile a minute in that movie.
Yes, I practiced it so I could do it really fast, and I did about 3 takes, and Gary said, great, it's great. What if you do one really fast?
And that was the
I said,
fastest you could go.
What are you talking about? That's as fast as my tongue can work.
So you got hooked on methamphamphetamine on that set.
No, it's before that. I should
Yeah.
have started my meth habit earlier.
Yeah. You directed a sex road trip comedy with Alexandra Daddario and Kate Upton. All right.
Enough said. No, it was, it's about
What was that movie
2
about?
women in their early to mid 20s who are having a crisis. So who better
I bet
to
it-
direct it than a 70-year-old man?
Yeah, I bet it was. Yeah. Were you in pajamas the entire time?
I should have been.
Were you in a bathrobe?
They did great, and it's got moments in it, but I did not do that script justice as a director. I've done 3 of them.
Maybe were you
And I put-
eyes up here? Maybe. Yeah.
I threw my hat in the ring, by the way, right? I threw my hat in the ring to direct another one, so I haven't learned my lesson.
Are the boobs going to be even bigger?
Were there boobs in that?
Oh, what a professional, ladies and gentlemen! What a professional.
They were stunning women, boy. Everywhere we went, it was like Moses parting the sea. Crickets would stop chirping when they came on set.
Birds
they were so fine looking and really delightful, both women. We had a good amount of fun on that thing.
What happened? I want to talk about your 2 projects that are coming up. You're in Edgar Wright's new picture, The Running Man, which I understand is a Stephen King adaptation.
He wrote the book, and there was the Schwarzenegger version of it. And for this one, they went back to the book,
Yeah.
and it's big. We shot it in London. I've got 2 scenes.
It's like a Most Dangerous Game kind of thing.
Yeah. It's a dystopian future. The government, which looks like a studio, it's more television than government, runs everything, and there's this game. They choose a guy as the running man. He starts going. If he can stay alive for a certain amount of time, they give him $1 million. But anyone can kill him.
Oh, anyone.
Anyone.
Oh, wow. It's like the game Mafia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
You happen to be best friends with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
no.
I got that one wrong. So now that you're working out, do you think you could go toe to toe?
With Arnold?
Yeah, maybe enter a couple competitions, maybe.
I would do it if it was he and I. And
Just
that's
the 2 of you?
Just
Yeah.
the 2 of us.
He's amazing. I love him so much.
Yeah.
I can't. My father and I, one of the biggest categories of pictures that I grew up watching were just the neck snap genre. The genre
God.
where the guy just kills someone by
Yeah.
snapping their neck. So I've seen pretty much every Seagal, Jean-Claude Van Damme,
And they
Dolph
make it look so
Lundgren.
easy. They just walk up and go, and that's it.
Yeah, that could be a good goal for you moving forward. At 75, you haven't done one neck snap.
No.
Yeah. Have you ever said secure the perimeter?
Nope, never
Lock
said
it
that
down.
either. No.
No. What's your favorite line you've ever delivered in any movie?
It's not mine. It's Mamet who went insane. I did Air Force One, and I say, "Let me save him. He's the president, for God's sake." Dave still quotes that to me.
No, it's just even your delivery makes it funny. He's the president, for God's sake. That movie is awesome.
This is
Get off
This
my
is while
plane.
Harrison's on the back of the plane going
Yeah,
like
yeah.
this, you know.
The
holding-
president is hanging off the
Let
back.
me save him.
It's the president. Well, we should talk about Train Dreams.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love Westerns. I'd love to do a Western, but they're all just, to coin a phrase, horseshit, because all the Westerns that come out now are based on Western movies, John Ford movies. And the real West
The best ever.
is best. It's fascinating. The shootout at the OK Corral. You ready for this? 2 guys got killed.
Yeah.
5 guys got shot, and that lives in lore. They've written poems and songs, written movies about them. That's the biggest shootout in the West. I read a Western script the other day. There's 14 bodies on page 3, just blamming away.
It's like Hong Kong action.
And
at
I've
this
shot
point.
off my mouth a lot about it, but I think all this bullshit, untruthful gunplay and violence in movies is hurting us as a culture. Because kids see it, and you know, this whole thing we
desensitized.
used to say, hey, don't blame, I'm just the messenger. This is what America's like. That's not what America's like. It's horseshit, and it really offends me. I just think, tell the truth about it.
Yeah.
Just tell the truth.
And that's kind of what the new picture that you're in with Joel Edgerton, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, it's about.
It couldn't be quieter and simpler.
What I understand is your character is kind of like a poet and a philosopher, and
Yeah.
like kind of like.
It's based on a novella. It's very quiet.
I've read the book, the Dennis Johnson book.
Yeah.
I read it because it was short.
This is pretty close.
I read it on vacation.
This is pretty
Yeah,
close.
he's an amazing writer.
And they got his voice in this thing. And
He's alive,
Joel
right?
is great in it. And everybody, it's quiet. It's so moving. We were in Toronto. Were you in Toronto, or you just saw that thing?
I heard you. I heard something where you spoke about it.
We watched the
They
thing. I
won't-
hadn't
they won't
seen
let
it
me go.
completed. I had seen a cut. And I'm watching it in the big theater with a lot of people. And I was a mess. I was weeping like a baby. And then they go, okay, time to get up on stage now.
Yeah.
And I was still really
Was that the
shaking.
first time you'd seen it?
Finished.
Yeah, finished it.
And it's different when you see it with a bunch of people as we,
In a theater.
theaters, man.
Yeah. Especially with comedy, like seeing an audience laugh at a joke. Especially if you've
Totally.
made something and you've like deliberately done a cut, like an edit, like it feels so satisfying. It feels more satisfying than doing stand-up for me. It's like seeing an audience
I
interact
hear ya.
with something
I totally
'Cause you're
agree.
watching from the side, you're not watching from the stage. You can't really, with the lights, you can't really see. I mean, you know that from the theater.
Well, the way I put it is I've written a bunch of stuff, and almost all of it has humor in it. And when you sit at your typewriter, that's how far back I go, and you write a joke, and it goes from there to a producer who steps on it, and then it goes to a director, and then it goes to production designer, then it goes to the actors. And if that joke is still funny after all those people
That must
have
feel so
handled
good.
it, that's a good joke. That's the highest high I've ever had in this business.
Getting a pop feels good.
Oh,
Getting a pop feels good. We missed the cum shot.
yes.
Guys, thank you for your time.
Thanks.
William H. Macy.
I've loved this.
You've loved it?
Yeah, you could do this professionally. This was a
I do
great
actually.
fun. Oh, you do?
Yeah, I do.
Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
yeah. Oh, no, yeah.